Hey everybody, this is CPR43 with a brand new update for you guys. So, a video finally coming out a little bit quicker after the last one, as when compared to what I've been doing for the last year and a half or so. So yeah, I'm finally getting something out, and we're gonna see how it goes. I've also got this space tidied up as well, so I can finally show some what's happening with the models. Now, on the desk here, you can see I've actually got one of the club locomotives here, and I did talk about it. I believe it was in my December update vlog thingy, whatever I did. Well, it was that first video that I did when I was driving in the truck, anyways, and I had talked about bringing home one of the club's locomotives to work on. So this is the boy right here. It is kind of like a GP9U. I'm not sure. I wouldn't really call it a GP9U exactly, but it's got the same kind of thing going on with it. Like, I mean, the number boards are like the same as well as that. Chop nose, headlight, stuff like that. It's kind of gone for like the Canadianized look. And with the number boards more towards the CP end rather than the CN end. And again, also, even at the back here as well, the direct brake vent's been blocked out, and then it also has the extended stacks, almost kind of like what mine has going on, but just a little bit different style and so on. It kind of has put like a little bit more of a classic appearance as to what it might have looked like in the 70s or something like that. Who knows? So yeah, that's what I've been doing for the last little bit here. It's kind of been my entry back into modeling because I was out of it for whenever I got my truck. That would have been last year, April, yeah, or late March, yeah. How can I forget that date? Because that was one of the best days of my life, is getting my first vehicle, so all of you know what I'm talking about. All of you know, well, those of you who are driving anyways, all of you know who I'm talking about. All of you who are driving, yeah. All right, I'm going to get back onto the topic before I lose my mind here. So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of work on this model right here, specifically on the front end. Like, I mean, the whole nose area here is actually, I've redone it. So, like, when I brought it home, this looked almost nothing like it. Well, it's got the same idea going, obviously, but it was in pretty bad shape. So I actually sanded all that down and redid it all. So it's an Athearn blue box, by the way. So it was actually chop nosed. So somebody literally took the knife, went along that just the bottom of the top end of the nose there, and chopped it. So that's really cool. And besides, they actually they did such a nice job. Whoever did it was one of the club members. It had to have been. But they made the seam where the nose connected back onto the rest of the body, or the top part there. The seam is almost invisible. You can barely even see it. Even from the inside, you can barely even see it. But it is visible if you're actually looking for it. So it's very nicely done. But the model seen better days for sure. I do have some photos too to show, so I'm just going to show you. These were taken when I had first brought it home, so you can see there. One of the rougher looking areas had to have been the front end there. You can see the headlight just absolutely not in good shape at all. Some of the decals were a little bit kind of getting a little bit of damage too. So I decided, you know what, it's time to see a little bit of love for sure, and get it all fixed up. So here it is, and getting all that done and everything. Repainted it. I was lucky to even have the red too. The red's actually like, I guess, like a crimson, because that was what I used. It was crimson, and it matched up almost exact. So it turned out perfect. And then I still had some my decals left over, like on the striping used for the GP38 sitting over there. I still got lots of that yellow striping left, so I was able to do some of that too to complete the look of the nose. The headlights also a whole new casting, so It's looking pretty good. The back end hasn't really changed there. I still got to remove this old headlight housing right here. You can see that quarter bottom end just completely gone off that. I'm probably going to redo some of the grab irons too. I'm going to redo the marker light housings as well. Probably put in some sort of special lens just to kind of get some nicer appearance to them, because I still want to have this unit kind of like doing its own thing. It's going to have its own little look. It's going to be something different, just like they've already been doing. Another thing I actually worked on, I'm going to show you guys as well, was the dynamic brake grids. So I actually had to fill all of those in, so you can see there. And then you can see in the pictures here, you can see that huge gap right in there. And then same thing on the other side as well. You can see there's that gap there, a little bit of gap on the bottom too. It's just they used, I guess, some styrene or whatever, strip styrene, and just placed over the top. Like, I mean, it looked good before, but you know what? My whole main goal here is to kind of enhance the look, make it look a little bit more appealing to even more discriminate modelers. So yeah, there it is. All right, so that was my spiel on the whole thing going on there. Still lots of work to do. I still even have to finish up the classification light lenses too. Like here, I still have to make lenses from fiber optics. But everything's going great, and it should look pretty good when it's done. It's still got its gloss coat on, by the way. I actually used a tester's gloss coat for the first time. Not gloss coat, actually. I used it was what they had left at the Model Baron when I was in last. That would have been, I believe it's Wet Look is called? Yeah, Wet Look. Tester's Wet Look. So it has a much more of a glossier look to it. Does the job the same way for like doing decals and so on. So whatever. It did the job and I'm happy with it. So yay, we'll move on. And I'm just going to take it off for now because I'm going to have something else coming up right away here. So we're going to move on to Super Train now. So Super Train, lots of fun. That would have been the weekend of the 22nd and 23rd of April. Yeah, 22nd, 23rd. I went up on the Saturday, the 22nd, and I got up early, like 6 o'clock in the morning. Left Lethbridge 6:30. Didn't get there. Didn't even get there till after 9 because I ate breakfast. Claire's home. And it took a little bit of time there, but I ate at Tim Hortons, so I tried to be quick and still managed to get there after 9. So, oh well. At least I got a good parking spot, or, well, at the far end of the parking lot at the Genesis Center anyways. I was hoping to do a little bit better, but nope. So, word of advice, get there early. Super Train at the Genesis Center there. Get there early if you want to get decent parking. I would say if you can try to get there before 8:30, you should be okay. So yeah, Super Train was just awesome. I had a great time there and got to talk. Actually, I kind of hanged out with him quite a bit. I've been Joshua Hoffarth, or what is he's known on YouTube now? He's known on YouTube now as Northern Rails and Runways. He used to be Extreme Foamer. I'm sure I've shouted out before to him or talked about, because I rail fan with him back in Fernie. Started 2015. So yeah, I talked with him for quite a bit. We went around, looked at some of the layouts and so on. There's quite a bit to see there. Lots of vendors too. Big one, obviously, Bowser. Oh, I was at their table for quite a while, and then I was at Rob's table for a long time, and then Intermountain's table for a long time too, bugging them about making some GP9Us and GP9RMs, because Rob told me that if there's any company who would listen to enough people, it's going to be Intermountain. And sure, they didn't do the greatest job on their SD40s, but I'm sure they can do a nice job on some chop-nose GP9s. They don't do the best job. Oh well, it's something you can work on anyways. It's just better than something that is like this, which came from a $50 Walters Trainline GP9M, which is just atrocious to detail. and you can take my word for it again. Now, so I did buy some stuff at Super Train too. My buddy there is actually working at, well, he was helping out at Hobbytech's booth. So he was, helping people look at some new models and stuff like that. He even scored himself an SD60. So, yeah. So one thing I got, it was not at Hobbytech, by the way. These little detail parts I'm about to show you I actually got at another vendor. I can't remember the name of it. It was something trains. I can't remember. But I'll just show you guys. So I got some fiber optic tubing for lighting projects. Got a metal plow and some other smaller details like cable receptacles and jack pads and so on. And then we've got some details associate stuff like some eye bolts or lift rings, whatever you want to call them. And then kind of like a must-have in my case, some all-weather windows. These come pretty handy too, especially like for Canadian railroads and what I'm doing. See, because I needed one for my model here as well. So, sure, why not? And then I got something else, and this may look quite familiar to you guys. $70, couldn't really pass it up. Some of you know what I'm talking about already. Specifically you, Josh, don't say anything in the comments. You can just laugh because you already know. There it is. So, yeah, I bought another Walthers Trainline GP9M. $70, couldn't go wrong. DC. Basically the same thing I got when I bought $15.97 down there. Was it September 2013? And now, almost 4 years later, I got another one to work on. I've got a whole new plan for this one as well. I'm actually going to take it out of the box here. I was going to do a review on it, but it's like, you know what, I already did a review. Basically, your review will be just looking at the contrast between the two locomotives, really. This right here, it's a very crude model. It's based off of a old, what was the manufacturer's name? Cox, that was the one. COX. It was, they did I guess some train or GP9 chop noses too, way back in like the early 80s or something. The whole Walthers Trainline model is based off that pretty much. It's a wide body. Your hood is actually wider than prototypical, really, in HO aspects. So that's one of the big things. You can't really do anything about it. I'm not too concerned about it. You can kind of see for yourself. It's not that big of a deal, really. The only real big deal is just the front end there. Your door's kind of blocked by this big, so whatever. Yeah, my plans for it now. So it's going to become a bit of an oddball GP9U 8200 series, and I'm going to show you what I've got planned for it. This one in particular was a wreck rebuild. Wrecked in 1973, rebuilt in 1975, and it was actually one of the experimental chop noses that CP did. And right now, or it was as it was last known as, CP4203. So that is one of the that was a wreck rebuild back in 75. Still has its diesel road switcher designation rather than like the 1500s and 1600s, which were just essentially yard switchers. The 8200s were more used for the branch lines and yards as well. So it was not too uncommon to see these units leading intermodals in like Ontario and stuff. They had the ditch lights and everything, and they had more powerful motors. So they were able to go faster and haul a little bit more. So that's nice. It's one of the models I would definitely want to do, especially with the ditch lights. 8203, however, is an oddball. One thing is it's got a pointed nose. You can see there, it's got the whole pointed nose, just like a GP38 or an SD40, rather than that plain flat surfaced tip there. Now the big thing about this one is, boom, extended sandboxes for the win. That's right. that was the one big thing I wanted to do. I even wanted to do it on 1597, but kept it prototypical and waited till I got another GP9 to detail. So this is our that's going to be our patient. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to look sweet. No doubt about it. It's even got, it's even got the rear ditch lights too. So can't go wrong there. I'm going to show you the other side to another picture here as well, so you can see there. That's going to look sweet. I'm really looking forward to that. 8203, it's sure, when it was rebuilt, it was done up with not only GP9 parts, but it was also done with some GP7 parts, just because when it was wrecked, all that was left pretty much was the frame and the motor. That was it. And I guess the frame was still in very decent shape, so they just used it, took another GP9, put the components all in, and whatever components they didn't have, they took from a GP7, I guess. That's that. So it's a little bit of a Frankenstein model, but I'm not too concerned about it because, these Trainline models are already a little bit crude to work with anyways. I'm not really going to worry about the specifics. I just wanted to make it look visually more, you know what I'm getting here. Same thing with 1597 there. I did almost nothing to the hood. I still want to do the louvers and stuff. Same thing with both models, really. I want to kind of get the louvers straight, but anything that has to do with compartment doors, I'm out. Nope. So, yeah, that's what I plan on doing there. So, that's your model, and it's bright red glory. Get a good look at it while it lasts, because if at some point it's going to change. That's going to change. It's going to start looking more like this. Maybe not as dirty, but we'll see. Can't guarantee anything at this point. So, yeah, guys. So that's pretty much it at this point, really. I don't have not too much else to talk about. Again, I'm still trying to get into the modeling thing. I was out of it for so long just because the truck. Actually, since I have my iPod out, I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of a glimpse of what the truck looks like. This picture I actually took on the day I first got it home. I believe that was March 24th. March 24th on a Thursday. I'm pretty good at that, aren't I? So here's a picture right here I'm going to show you guys. It looks a hell of a lot different now, but this is what it looked like when it came home. So some of you guys already know what it looks like now if you follow me on social media and stuff. That's what it looked like when it came home. And right now it looks a hell of a lot different, but I want to do that update or that video on the truck. Still have to get to it, but I kind of want to wait a little bit until I do a little bit more on the truck anyways before I put that video out. So we're holding off, but you guys will see it at some point. So sure. All right, so I think that's about it. This update went a hell of a lot longer than normal and a hell of a lot longer than I intended, but that's like every update pretty much now. It just goes longer than what I intend, so we'll just roll with it. I hope you enjoyed, guys. I hope you guys are all doing well. Comment if you want. Just please, if you want to even add a little bit of criticism or any suggestions, put it in the comments. I don't care. I read them. And that's that. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I will see you all in the next one. This is CPR43, and good luck.